Are you ready, bro?
He's thinking about what he's going to say.
I know,
There
always.
he is. There he is. That's fine. That's fine. All right. 3, 2, 1. On this episode, yep, I am Rusty. 3, 2,
That's what happens when you do just take weeks off.
Jesus, he took
my
1
God.
week off.
I took
man.
a week off because I'm sick.
Welcome, everyone.
Shut up.
I am back. It's all that's important is Derek is back.
Cut.
The actual personality
Cut.
of this podcast.
Cut.
I felt like forever. I haven't done it. I literally have just been waiting for something to do for the last week and a half.
This gives my life meaning.
Thank you guys for returning.
Thank you guys for actually, being around for once in our lives. Okay. On this episode, yeah, see, I can't do this. On this episode of the KD Sports Talk, we're back. We're rusty as shit, and we're back.
Do it.
It's Brittany, bitch.
It's
And
Brittany,
we are back.
bitch. Yeah, and I was on my deathbed last week, so we didn't record last week.
Did you have foot surgery again or what?
No, I was just so.
It's so bad.
Yeah, dude. So my youngest daughter was like real sick, and she gave it to me, and I could barely talk for 5 seconds without coughing up a lung. So it was nasty, and I still have a cough. I'll probably cough tonight during the podcast, but it's been a minute. So we got a lot to cover, a lot to figure out. I guess we should just start with preseason. I mean, we're in preseason, so did you guys watch your games?
I didn't, but heard a couple critiques from our game, the Lions game, that is.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was his time management, like at the end of, I think the quarter or possibly the game, but I think it was like the end of the half.
Mm-hmm.
His time management, and I'm fine with it because of his reasoning. He said he's like, I don't give a shit about winning a preseason game. It's more about getting these guys looks. So he wanted to get David Blau, who is our backup quarterback. He wanted to give him looks. He wanted to get him in the red zone so he can get some red zone looks. Everything. Yeah, you can go live during practice, but getting an actual in-game experience, you can't replicate that. So
yeah.
So he was just like, I don't care. I would have definitely handled it differently in a real game, but this one, it's preseason and we're just going to go and get reps. And, so that's about the only thing that's really important. I mean,
Was that the Bills, right? Was that your guys' only preseason game so far?
Yeah. They lost by a last second.
It was like a point.
Yeah, no, it was
16, 15.
Yeah, you lost by a last second
like
field goal.
I watched some of it. I watched the Lions. Was it the second drive where it was like a 10-minute drive, 18 play down the field drive that just was nice, long, productive drive with Goff.
That's impressive, yeah.
Yeah, it was Goff's first time ever in his career, 18 plays or more on a drive.
I'm sure he's used to just bombs.
Right. So I know I thought I saw some good things from Detroit, just watching a few select. Like you said, Campbell, you could tell was just wanting to like he went for it on the fourth down, and they showed the clip of him.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like,
yeah, that's
like you. But Steelers wise, they had the Hall of Fame game against.
I was going to ask if you watched it.
Yeah, watched the whole first half. I watched the first half.
I watched the whole thing.
It's like
I can't do preseason football as much as like I can watch for a little bit. Give me a half, and then I'm done. Just because I don't care who squeaks onto the team. I don't care to watch them. If they're going to play, they're going to play. I'll learn them if they play during the regular season. Like that's how I feel about it. Mason Rudolph is Mason Rudolph. I don't think he's changed. I think everybody knows what he is. He's either really, really good or he's really, really bad. There's no in between game with him. He's either on or he is off.
Najee,
first carry of his football career goes for 10 plus yards. saw nothing but exciting things from him. Dwayne Haskins has looked pretty good. Their second game was that who was that against? Whoever they played in their second preseason game, just a few this past weekend. I thought Dwayne looked real good. Had a touchdown, threw for like 100 yards on pretty efficient, only like 2 or 3 incomplete passes. I do like though that some of these rookies, Philadelphia, yeah, some of the rookies are coming along, looking good. Stuff I read from Tomlin, he hasn't changed either. Kevin Dotson, just talking like to him, and he's like saying he hasn't earned like a starting spot yet. And then like, of course, they ask Dotson, well, how does that make you feel and all this stuff, and he's just like, well, he's the boss, so if he says I haven't earned it, I haven't earned it.
Right.
So it seems like
how's that feel? How's your feelings? Relax.
After being the worst undefeated team in the history of football, I have still a lot of hopes. Even though when they were 11-0, I told everybody last year that they're still not as good as their record shows, and I wasn't surprised by what happened last season.
Yeah.
It scares me that Big Ben hasn't thrown a pass all preseason. I want to see him throw a pass in a game because can he throw it down the field? But outside of that, I think the rest of the team looks pretty solid so far. And we just got the dude from Jacksonville, linebacker Schobert. Welcome to the show.
Joe
Shope, dude, so excited about that.
When he played for the Browns, didn't he?
I think he started with the Browns.
Yeah, yes, he did. He did.
He's a freaking tackling machine, so that's a good type of player to have. So
he's a good pickup for you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah. So exciting things are happening in Pittsburgh.
So the Browns game against Jacksonville was amazing.
I listened to that on the radio.
Not for the Browns. Yeah, I mean the Browns is the Browns, right? Like we did everything that we thought we were gonna do. Kyle, I'm actually pretty impressed with the way that I think his name is Luletta. How did he say his name? He's the backup quarterback. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. It's whatever. But anyways, he had 212 yards passing. So that's really good. It was amazing because of Jacksonville. I mean, we'll bring it up now. Tim Tebow got cut by the Jaguars yesterday. The most how do I want to say this? The best tweet that I saw for the whole thing, just some random guy tweeted out the little video of Shawn Michaels giving Sweet Chin Music to Ric Flair. And he's saying this Urban Meyer cutting Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was hilarious. But I mean, he was god awful. I mean, he got targeted one time and a receiver stole the pass from him because he undercut his route. And so the receiver ran through Tim Tebow's route and just caught the ball. But Tim Tebow, I mean, he missed 2 blocks, like just straight up missed them. He tried to block like 3 other guys and he hit them. He fell off and the guy didn't move at all. Like he just stood there. So it was like, it wasn't even a full, like a real block or anything. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, we didn't really get to see anybody that we like none of the starters really.
No,
you guys are pretty set in stone.
Yeah,
I think the big thing I thought I listened to Jim Donovan and the guy who calls the radio, which I totally forgot how awesome Jim Donovan is on the freaking radio for the Browns. But I think what they got a good look at was the backup defensive ends. And I think that's like listening to, because I was golfing Saturday in Tiffin, in Clyde, which is, by Fremont. So that hour ride home was right when the Browns game was getting ready to start. And listening to all the pregame stuff. And it was like anything that's the only thing they would talk about was just getting looked at the depth of like every defensive position. It sounded like.
Oh yeah. Well, cause last year our defense was like, it was like a skeleton crew. I mean, it was not even all of our starters should have been starting on our defense.
And Donovan Peoples-Jones, I try to sell this to Browns fans on draft day. Dude, that you guys got a freaking steal.
6th round pick, the best steal of the draft.
Dude, I told
Swear to
Browns
God.
fans he was so misused at Michigan. He is
Yeah.
so good and so talented, and she's been showing it. So far.
Yeah. So today, obviously, we had training camp today, and it's just training camp. But he had two touchdown catches today in training camp, and he is killing it. And everybody last year was saying that he was underperforming and we should cut him and all this, that, and the other. I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid. He was supposed to be a Buckeye. I loved this guy before he went to Michigan. Like when he was still
before Harbaugh sucked him into the black hole.
Yeah. And I felt the same way you feel. He was so misused at Michigan. It's insane. Like you could tell during the Ohio State Michigan games how good he could be. And
just because he showed glimpses of it.
Yeah,
that he was a definite like second round at the lowest
talent.
Like he was, first, second round talent that was just never used properly at Michigan.
Yeah. And I am so glad that he got into the Browns at this time, and with Baker and with Kevin Stefanski and the offense that we're running with OBJ and Landry.
And right there, that's all you need to say with him is he got Odell and Landry there to teach him how to do everything. That helps crazy.
So much. Yeah. And he's a monster. I am so pumped for this season. But God, dude, just being able to watch football. I know you guys don't like preseason that much, but just being able to watch football again, it's fucking awesome. Like I watched the whole Hall of Fame game, and I knew it was bad. Like I knew the product on the field
was ugly for a while.
Best. Yeah, it wasn't the best, but it was just nice to be able to watch football.
Mm-hmm. Watch somebody get hit.
Oh God, yeah. Are you guys watching Hard Knocks?
No, I don't have HBO.
Of course.
Duh. Dude.
It is super boring. Cowboys suck ass.
Are you kidding me? Freaking Zeke and Dak Prescott are fucking hilarious.
That's literally all this season is.
That was the only the reason I would watch is to freaking watch Zeke, dude. Because he's
actually Zeke annoys the fuck out of me.
Dude, he is such a child. He is such a child. I love it.
It is fun. I did enjoy.
He's a frat boy at heart.
Yeah, they stole or they ride like bikes around.
Yeah, because like their whole training camp is like a town.
You rent you can like rent a bike and you have your own personal bike, and Zeke just like was like, hey, here's a bike, and took it, and it just so happened to be Dak's bike. So Dak comes out, he's like, what about, I left it right here, and obviously the film crew was like, someone took it, and he's like, who took it? They're like, Zeke, and he goes, God, like they're constantly messing with you. Yeah. So those two's their relationship's fun.
Yeah,
but nothing else is happening. I did think it was weird since you haven't watched it, Nick.
Talk about it. I don't care.
The mojo periods.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is like the most forced thing ever.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
He said you got to have mojo, and he showed the Austin Powers thing, like
Austin Powers film. It wasn't even him talking about mojo either. Like he showed the first video, like the first movie, and they didn't even talk about the mojo. Like it was just an Austin Powers clip. and then so now like he'll just randomly throughout practice go mojo period mojo, and I don't know if the team like knows what the fuck it means. I think it's
because McCarthy is a big bag of dumb.
I'll tell you who's actually been the most enjoyable for us to watch, or for me to watch, is Dan Quinn, their defensive coordinator.
Yes, that dude throws out more F-bombs than I do.
He is. Yeah,
he's an old Falcons coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Was in Seattle. Yeah.
Was in Seattle. That's where he got his like notoriety.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Every other word with him is fuck. It's amazing.
My kind of guy.
Yeah. I was sitting there watching it, and I perked up. Like I was paying attention. Like there was 3 F-bombs in like 2 seconds, and I was like, all right, bud, like you got my attention.
Yeah.
The other one too. The other moment that because I haven't watched the second episode yet. It just came out. It just came out yesterday or last night. I just haven't been able to sit down and watch it.
Right.
But the first episode, they were like the voiceover guy was talking about getting cut, like players getting cut.
Mm-hmm.
And they legit like transition into the special teams coach talking about his vasectomy to the players.
It's so it's the special teams coach that he was with the Rams. Like, so last year when the Rams were on Hard Knocks, it was that special teams coach. And now he's in Dallas.
I know. He's jumping Hard Knocks to Hard Knocks.
Yeah, he's just going Hard Knocks to Hard Knocks. Yeah. It was so fucking ridiculous.
But he's like a really well liked and very good special teams coordinator. But yeah, I thought it was weird. I'm like, that's the same fucking guy. But yeah, he got a vasectomy and then he got a reversal.
And then he got a
snip, snap, snip, snap.
So that was a good moment. My wife goes, "Why are they talking about this?" I go, "Because he got a reversal, and they're guys, and it was a lot of fun."
Yeah. What
else do we got?
That and Zeke wrapping a present for the first time.
Yeah, I've never wrapped a present.
A man child. He should have just put the present in a freaking bag, dude.
Yeah. It actually didn't look bad.
No, I'm sure it wasn't that terrible. All right. MLB stuff real fast because we didn't get to talk about it last week. Nick, do you got it on hand or no?
What?
MLB. You said you want to talk about some of the stuff from baseball.
Okay, that was like a week and a half ago. Okay, so real quick, Shohei's pitching against the Detroit Tigers tonight.
All right.
Homered last night. Also hit his just the last in the 8th inning. Hit his 40th home run of the season. He has also pitched 8 innings of 1-run baseball against the Tigers tonight. So
Jesus,
there's some baseball. I'm watching it right now. Only reason Indians already got their butts. Hey, Detroit's only like a game behind Cleveland, dude.
I know.
Yeah,
we're doing well.
Cleveland is
Detroit's dudes are just compete, man, and love it. That's why I've been watching as much baseball as I can, and before football season.
That's what I do. Just watch
before football season gets here. I won't watch once football season starts. I won't watch baseball until the world playoffs.
The craziest thing for me is like I'll be so into football. I'm playing fantasy football. I'm watching every game. Every home game. I'm going to Lions games, and then I will start hearing people going, "Baseball's on tonight," and I'm like, "Holy shit, baseball's still going!" I completely forget that it's even a thing. Right. During football season, I get so wrapped up.
Oh yeah, it's easy. And then I guess if you want, Trevor Bauer has now pleaded the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in his case now that his sexual
Trevor Bauer's pleading the 5th.
He's pleading the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. I mean, other than the trade deadline was freaking insane. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about in baseball.
Yeah. So, all right, I just want to make sure that you got everything out with that.
Yep, done. Good. Move on.
Okay, so the FBI is now joining the Deshaun Watson case.
Yes.
So that's super fun, and they're joining it because there is possible extortion going on now. So this is just
okay.
This is just.
Do you know more? Like I don't understand.
So I will read the article from the worst news site in sports, ESPN. The allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior against Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson are being investigated by the FBI. Watson's lawyer says on Wednesday. Harden also said that Watson spoke to the FBI about the allegations of extortion regarding one of the 23 lawsuits filed against the quarterback, of which 22 are still active. In April, the FBI came to us, told us that they were investigating a matter as to whether one of Mr. Busby's clients, I think that's the lawyer for the other side, had committed extortion in the way that they were demanding money from Deshaun or what they would do if they didn't get paid. We are not the ones who contacted them. They contacted us. We talked to the FBI. We even let them interview Deshaun.
This is great.
Yeah. And if y'all
all over the place.
If y'all can find a lawyer that will let his client talk to the FBI, if the lawyer had thought his client had done anything wrong or any exposure, then I'll be very, very surprised. So you're saying that him letting Deshaun talk to the FBI is proof that Deshaun is in the right here. But now that the FBI is involved, or now FBI came to him because one of the girls was trying to extort him, which is not surprising either.
So should we just like kick this like ESPN style? I got a cousin that's a lawyer. I'm sure if I told her to study up on it, she'd come and give legal advice to Deshaun. We can talk and just chalk it up.
And
then put legal expert.
Legal
analyst.
the KD legal
Sports,
analyst.
Yeah, KD Sports Talk legal analyst.
Really, it's just Yale because he's got a big nose.
But I mean, good. I'm kind of glad the FBI is getting involved just because it's going to be, I think, pretty straightforward from here on out. Find the facts, and then it's going to be presented to a judge or whoever to file charges or whatnot. And if they find the extortion charges or extortion shit to be right, then these girls are going to get what they're deserved if it actually didn't happen.
True. Yeah.
So
I
think it's all good. I think it's all positive news for Deshaun.
Yeah. I mean, like the guy said, man, if you can find a lawyer that just openly lets his client talk to the FBI.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a good lawyer unless he didn't do anything wrong. Let's see here. I am just running down stuff here.
We're very prepared.
I mean, no, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got topics.
We're semi-prepared.
Our transitions aren't as smooth as they were three weeks
hey,
ago.
We're still under our rookie contract, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
And
we're not even sure we're going to get renewed for the second season.
Right. We might not even make it past the preseason. Who knows?
All right. So I'll just bring this up because everybody knows about it. It's already been done and gone. Messi is now playing for PSC. He has left Barcelona.
Kenny.
PS is PSE, right? PSC?
Oh my fucking god.
What did I say?
Why do we even talk other sports?
Who is this?
No, it's
PSG.
No, it's not.
German. It is PSG, you dipshit.
I swear to fucking God, it's PS. I swear to God.
You said C,
PSC.
then you said E, but you're
I thought
confident that it's PSG.
Damn it is G. God damn it. All right, PSG. That's on me. I didn't write it down. That's my fault.
Are you kidding me? PSG's home to one of the greatest human beings of all time, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Why do we even talk other sports there? Because Kenny can't even pronounce teams from other sports.
All right.
I mean, if they're on the Browns, there's still a chance he doesn't know.
Dude, I can't. Okay, we all know that I can't pronounce names. I don't know why this is still a news to you guys. This is what? Well, it should be week 24.
Well, we've gone. 23. This is how we've progressed, Derek. We've gone from Kenny can't pronounce names to now Kenny can't pronounce letters. So we're just.
That is technically the name of the team. So name still works. All right.
PSG.
PSG.
All right.
You're right.
Some soccer player somewhere is leaving.
No, the greatest, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, this guy is amazing.
17 years with Barcelona, and they just said,
guys, it's Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, so did they say goodbye, or did I feel like he kind of said goodbye?
He offered, no, Messi. They told him his contract was too much. He said he would take a 50% pay cut to stay with Barcelona. 50 F-I-F-T-Y 50 half.
Jesus.
Chop it in half, and his contract is huge.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
lots of money. And he said, I'll take half off to stay in Barcelona. And they said, it's not enough. And so he just said, all right, look, I did my part. But like, I just offered, like he said,
50% discount.
I gave you half of 50% discount for me. Now he knows he's not what he used to be, but for one of the best soccer players of all time to just say, take my contract, split it in half.
Yeah,
I would have been like, hey, that's great. I was thinking like 25%, but 50 sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, if you're coming at me with 50, can I get 60?
Yeah. So of course, what did the next richest freaking soccer club in the world do? Swooped him right up instantly.
Who is it?
PSG.
It's a French.
It's in Paris. But they're one of the other clubs that are just freaking loaded with money. They got Barcelona, PSG are normally loaded with a lot of top tier players. They're like the freaking Yankees and Dodgers
Is it Neymar?
Neymar, yeah, Neymar plays at PSG.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I mean, PSG's like, sure, we'll take him.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even question it. The Cleveland renovations are expanding because now they're redoing Progressive Field. So the whole bank is gonna look amazing.
Yeah,
like the docks and
I saw the project, like the images and stuff that they were thinking for the stadium renovations. It's gonna look freaking awesome.
Yeah, and I'm pumped that they're opening it up a little bit too.
I'm just really glad that they're spending all their money into a stadium and not on a team. But moving on.
Okay,
that's another subject for another day.
Well, I mean, technically it could be for right now, but it's fine. So we have a new highest paid player, position player in the NFL, Darius Leonard. He gets his 5-year contract extension for $98.5 million with the Colts, making him the highest linebacker in the league in history. Thoughts and or complaints?
I mean, dude's earned it. Dude's a stud.
Yeah.
He's your best player on a pretty good defense as it was last year. Colts have historically not had the greatest defense, but they've been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And they've never really Bob Sanders, I can think of, Dwight Freeney, but they've never really had like most teams you can go back in time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You can go back and think of studs like linebackers that have played for every franchise. I mean, you go to the Lions, you think of freaking Chris Spielman. Pittsburgh's got tons of them. Browns, yeah, I mean every franchise has and I mean, if I don't know much about the Colts history, but they're not really known for their defense, especially since Peyton Manning's been there. So I think it's good for the Colts to kind of set an establishment that like, well, hey, we pay defensive players too, not just offensive players.
I just looked it up. I just put in, Colts best defensive players of all time: Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis. Yep.
And then we're getting like down to people that
the pre-Peyton Manning
like
era.
Gary Brackett.
Guys you don't know.
So
Devontae Davis, but that's about it.
So I was watching the Colts game last week, and Jim Irsay was talking to the announcers, and he straight up said that the reason why they didn't get more rings in the Peyton Manning era was because of their defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just wasn't up to par.
They had a couple really, really good players and a bunch of guys that they drafted that were okay.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too that he would bring up is that they don't like to go out and get guys. They like to develop in-house.
Yeah.
And they were talking about about Wentz.
So that philosophy is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Steelers do. That's what the Green Bay Packers do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know that there's a need, you have to go and fill that need with a veteran good player, even if it's just one. Green Bay doesn't like to go out and get someone. They still went out and got Reggie White.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Steelers are not opposed to going and getting an outside linebacker or a defensive end.
Yeah, for the right price.
Or Minka.
Yeah, trade. They got him in a trade though.
Yeah.
But they went out and got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They traded a first-round pick, I believe.
Yeah, but when you also are typically picking in the 20s, high teens.
I'm not saying it was a bad pick. He's fantastic. What I'm saying is like when you know you have a need.
Yeah, they go get it right away.
The in-house,
they don't waste time. Yeah.
So the Colts philosophy of like, I want to draft and then build our own guys, that's fantastic. But there are times when you're like, I have Peyton Manning, I have Marvin Harris, I have Edgerrin James. Let's go get some defensive guys to win some championships. Like, they should have done that.
Yeah.
Do you know they have James's dreadlocks in Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God. So with Wentz being out, and we're not, I mean, yeah, he's walking on the sidelines with no boot on and all that good stuff. Do you think that they should go out and get another quarterback? Because they have Sam Ellinger, and the other guy, what the hell's his name? Doesn't matter. Their backups are late round picks.
Yeah.
This is what has been plaguing the Colts since Andrew Luck, really. They just can't find a franchise quarterback. Like, it is insane how many teams, like, they go through that problem of finding franchise quarterbacks. I know the Lions have done it until they found Stafford.
I mean, you guys had Stafford for a long time.
But here's the thing. But how it's like you said. No, I don't think they should go out and get a quarterback. One, because I don't think their team is just like is a plug and play. There's no quarterback that they could go get.
Yeah,
that would make them a Super Bowl contender. So no, it's not worth it to me.
Unless San Francisco's willing to part with Jimmy G,
which I doubt it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think that would be a stupid decision.
I hear Trey Lance is doing really well, but
Eason from freaking Georgia is the other quarterback. They also have Brett Hunt.
Yes.
And so they got three, and they got three
you
young
Brett
guys.
Hunt?
Brett Hundley.
Who was the backup for the Green Bay. Yeah,
he was with Green Bay.
He did not look good.
No, but like I said, you have a really young team. Like you said, franchise quarterback. Look how long it took Cleveland to find Baker Mayfield.
23 starting quarterbacks in 22 years.
And Baker isn't even the greatest quarterback. You know what I mean? Baker is not Peyton Manning. He's not Drew Brees, Tom Brady. You know, those type of guys. But they got a guy who's above average, really good. Is a playmaker, team leader, franchise quarterback, right? Guy you're looking for. That can lead your team for years. And so if I'm Indy, I'm not going to get a quarterback. I'm going to sit back. Carson Wentz is probably going to get hurt again when he comes back. So those guys are going to get reps again. So why not let these young guys get reps? See if you got a steal in Sam Ellinger or Eason, because Eason was a highly touted quarterback coming out of high school and was pretty good at Georgia. Not saying he's going to be great in the NFL, but you know, if you strike gold, maybe you strike gold with one of those two. And then,
I think you put your time into Sam. I mean, I don't
know, but I'm just saying, like, okay, but try it out, right? Make the project happen. And if it doesn't work, guess what? You got a high draft pick. Maybe there's a quarterback next year's draft or the year after that that's going to be the next guy to take over. You know, not saying he'll be the next Peyton Manning, but the guy that can continuously keep you in the playoffs. Because you saw what happened. They got Phillip Rivers last year, and I mean, he did fine. I mean, it wasn't like he was terrible or anything.
He definitely didn't. There was something wrong with Phillip Rivers last year.
Right.
He's old.
He wasn't Phillip Rivers, you know
what I mean? I still don't think Phillip Rivers from 3-4 years ago would have got them over the hump. Like, I don't think it's more than just a quarterback in Indy. Like you said, their defense was pretty good last year with the guys they drafted. So let's see. They paid their best player on the defensive end. Let's see if they can maybe keep building on that, find some needs, sign some free agents like Derek was talking about. And then I think that then let's go searching for a quarterback.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, and their division is not going to be the easiest this year.
What? Their division is going to be super easy this year. They got Houston and Jacksonville in their division.
Yeah, but they have the Titans. Like, they're not winning that division.
Oh,
yeah, but still, they got.
I mean, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. They're not walking through their division. They're not going to walk through and get an AFC South division.
There's a very good chance that I mean, if they split it and win the other two, they could.
Yeah, no, I mean, Colts are definitely, they have a shot, but their division is not hard by any means.
No, it's
no,
first of all, what is Indianapolis' strength right now?
Their defense.
Their defense, right? What is Tennessee's strength?
Offense.
running game.
What is their weakness?
Defense.
Tennessee defense. What is that? So they're even teams. Like, okay, yeah, Tennessee's got this all-star studded offense, but Indy's got a pretty damn good defense. So there might be a chance in a game, they might own that tiebreaker over them just because the defense was better than Tennessee's offense. Because Tennessee's defense, they added Bud Dupree, but I'll tell you what, Bud Dupree's pretty good NFL, and linebacker, but he's not turning that crappy.
No, he's not turning that defense around.
Right,
No.
not by himself. No, so that division is might be one of the weakest in the league.
I don't know about the weakest in the league. Let's not forget the NFC Beast, okay?
Well, yeah, but they're right there with it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. I mean, there's one good offense. There's one good offense, and there's one good defense out of 4 teams. That's it. Okay, let's go to the NFC East. Cowboys have a really good offense.
If Dak can stay healthy.
Okay. Well, what else? Eagles, Redskins defense is pretty good. Okay. Hey, look, we found 2 strengths.
Redskins defense. I believe.
I'm just saying.
I believe Saquon staying healthy.
I was gonna say what about the Giants?
The Giants offense could. I mean,
yeah.
You got Evan Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a healthy Saquon. Danny Dimes. He wasn't terrible.
No.
He did pretty good.
He looked all right.
Detroit. Who'd they get from Detroit? Galladay, right? Galladay.
He's already dealing with a hamstring. It's already tightening up on him.
But so, I'm saying the AFC South is definitely up there in contention for worst division in the league this year.
Yeah.
There might be a fight. They could have 2 really good teams, but they could still be a really crappy division.
Okay, so I don't think we've really talked about anything like this before, so we can do this. And this is completely off the cuff on me. Okay.
Sure.
So who is a team that you think who had a losing record last year who could turn it around? Maybe not so much win their division.
Are you doing like a okay? It's not so much a first to worst type of thing.
Yeah, we're not a worst to first, but just like turn it around. Because I mean, we were talking about like the NFC last year. I mean, the NFC East last year was just atrocious. It was bad.
All right. So let's see. Teams with a losing record last year. So are we counting 8-8 as a losing record, or are we going to keep it? Or are we going to go worse than that?
Worse than that.
Okay. So you got the 49ers 6-10. Panthers were 5-11. Falcons were 4-12. The whole entire NFC East.
No, he's not even.
Okay, yeah. So let's stay Seriously, in the NFC, and then we'll bounce over to the AFC.
Vikings were 7-9. Lions 5-11. So that's your NFC teams.
I really don't see the Vikings. I'm just going to speak north for right now. But I don't see the Vikings being much better, honestly, than they were last year. Like I feel like they're right around where they should be as far as last year was. Yeah. Lions. I think this year I'd be very happy with it, a 5-11,
just like last
record.
year.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
So
you got a whole regime change. Like you can't.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't see either of those teams. So let's move on up. The entire
I'm not going to
NFC.
I'm not going to be a turd and pick the Niners because that's the obvious.
I was going to say they can't. You can't choose the Niners because
they're fully healthy. Right,
fully healthy right now.
Budget, right.
I mean, they were terrible.
Who's Washington's fucking quarterback?
I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. And the NFC side, I'm taking that offense is so freaking good.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad their defense is not good.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is the Washington quarterback.
Yeah, just not good.
Fitzpatrick, baby.
Yeah, dude, I want to see his wall because I can guarantee
Ryan
you
Fitzpatrick to win a Super Bowl. That's what needs to happen.
That's
true.
What
that
for
does
sure.
need to happen.
He comes out with this fucking necklace.
If he wins the Super Bowl and he could be the backup quarterback, he could be the third string quarterback on a team. I don't care. If he gets a Super Bowl, that motherfucker better be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I love that guy.
But I want to see his wall because I can almost guarantee he has every single jersey that he has ever worn on a wall, and he's got like a 10-mile long wall.
Let me go this way. I don't necessarily think that they're just going to be like so much better this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you a team that I would like to be better. They got the Panthers. They got Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Darnold do well.
Yeah.
I would like to see him be successful.
Yeah, they got Christian McCaffrey back.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel's been a pretty good up and coming receiver. They got the guy from the Jets. I can't think of his name. I can see his face. He's wide receiver. That was good for the Jets that Carolina got. So fully healthy if Darnold can be solid.
Yeah.
Panthers could be. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad one to take.
Yeah, it's not me saying they're gonna win their division or they're gonna be drastically better.
Well,
I want to see Darnold do well.
That's gonna be a tough division for anybody to win because of the Buccaneers. And I mean,
but still,
and the Saints now have Jameis Winston. We'll get to this in a little bit.
Yeah,
but we're gonna talk about
Robbie Anderson is who I was thinking about.
We're gonna talk about possible fantasy busts for the year, and one of my guys is from the Saints.
Okay,
and
mine too.
It's not who you're thinking, I don't think.
I do not. So hopefully I've got two different guys than you guys got.
Okay, so do we want to pick an AFC team?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's look it over.
For me, it's Dallas as well.
Okay, so AFC. Under 500, Texans, Jaguars, Patriots, Jets, Bengals. Then you have the Chargers and the Broncos.
So Nick, let's talk about the North, which is only the Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals they did not do enough in the offseason, in my opinion, to make their team better for Joe Burrow.
No, it's not.
They've got a fantastic starting quarterback.
3 pretty good wide receivers.
Yeah, their receiving core is great, but they're gonna have to run 3
and a very good dual threat running back.
Right.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to run 3 and outs, and they're gonna have to run out routes and fucking slants the whole time because
they'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers of last year.
Yeah,
is who they're gonna be.
Let's see. We've got the Broncos. I don't think so. I think they're right around where they should be as far as last year goes. Chargers. I like the Chargers, man. There's something about them.
Justin Herbert is what's about him. He's good.
Yeah. He's very good.
That's what's about the Chargers. They got their franchise guy. He's good.
Yeah.
And they got players around him.
But they're Cam Akers. He had
that's the Rams.
Injury.
That's the Rams.
Oh, that is the Rams.
Yeah,
right.
He's injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the easy one to me. Patriots.
Chargers go. I don't think that's the easy one.
Okay.
I don't. Just because. Sure. Okay, listen. I love Cam Newton, and I love prime Cam Newton with the Panthers. I thought he was awesome when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Broncos. Like that Cam Newton was really good. Okay, that's not Cam Newton anymore. Like God loved the man, loved his swagger, loved his confidence, but he's Superman. Not that guy anymore. From all the rumors you hear on like TV and stuff, it sounds like Mac Jones is really fighting him for starting reps. So
sure. So let me tell you why. For me,
if Cam Newton's the starter all year, I think you're right. I think the Patriots will be a playoff team. I think they can win 10, 11 games. But if Mac Jones ends up being their quarterback, I think we see another 6-7 win season.
Yeah.
So this is why for me.
Just because of growing pains.
It's to me, they're very similar to the situation that happened in San Francisco last year. They had multiple guys opt out last year.
Well, they had a lot of guys opt out.
Yeah, and they had a lot of injuries.
Like all their starters on defense pretty much didn't play.
Pretty much, yep.
They're all back.
Yep.
Their injuries they spent a lot of money in free agency to build up. I mean, what they did, there's just so much coming back to look more positively on. That's why I thought they were like.
But is that year off good for them?
I think they worked trust, but it is now 17 game season now. They got more time.
I know. Might have some rust in the beginning, but I just don't think Cam Newton was the answer. I think it was a good signing just because why not? See what he's got. But
I was waiting for him to sign and then all of a sudden be the Cam Newton hold.
Right. And
he was like, oh shit.
But they had some games. I mean, they almost beat Seattle and Seattle. I mean, they were tough to beat last year. So,
Always.
but that's why I don't know. We'll see. I think you could definitely be right. I think if Cam Newton is their starter for the whole year, then I think you're right. I think the Patriots are a 9, 10, 11 win team.
Yeah.
Wild card win, because the divisions, the Bills were really good last year, but are the Bills going to be that good again? Because
they lost like no one. So
I know,
they have the potential to be.
I'm just saying what is really hard to do in the NFL, repeat, right? It's hard. Consistency and repetitiveness in the NFL is tough. So can the Bills be 13-3 good again next year? If not, Patriots got a shot at winning the division.
Yeah.
But I think that's with Cam fully healthy, playing all year. Because if he's playing all year, he's doing good.
I picked the Patriots. I'm rooting for the Chargers. The Chargers.
Chargers. Go. Chargers. Go.
They've got 9 home games this year, and last year they were 5-3 at home.
Who's that?
So the Patriots.
Okay.
So if
nice stat drop there.
So if they can play at home, if they can play at home, like
hi mom.
At least your mom watches.
She does.
If they can play at home like they did last year, I think they have a lot better chance of going over 500 at least. Because their away schedule or their away record last year was 2-6, and that is just
that's rough.
You can't do that. And they play the Jets at home, or I'm sorry, away, Houston away, the Chargers and Panthers all away. Those are their first 5 away games. And the Chargers probably is going to be the toughest. Yeah. The toughest one out of those away games in the first 5. So there's a good chance they go 4-5 or 4-1 right out of the gate in the away games. So there's a good chance that they could pull this around for the year.
Sure.
Like you said, if Cam Newton is their quarterback all year, I don't know if I'd really trust Mac Jones like that. So
he did get a lot of reps during their preseason, but that's what backups.
That's what. I was gonna say that's what preseason.
Yeah.
That's what preseason's for.
All right, let's move on. Do you want to talk about Jamal Adams?
Jamal.
Yeah. Jamal Adams. Let's see. Reached an agreement 4-year contract extension with the Seahawks for a maximum value of $72 million, and including a $20 million signing bonus. He is the highest paid safety in NFL history. If you're gonna pay a safety, Jamal Adams is a good one to pay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Might screw over the Steelers later with Minka.
Minka's sorry. Minka's not coming back to Pittsburgh. So
that's what it sounds like.
That's the first. That's so funny you said that, because when I saw that the other day, that was the first thing I thought is, well, Minka's gone once his contract's out, because Pittsburgh's not going to make him the highest paid safety in the NFL. No. They did that. Now, if he does what he did again, if he plays like he did last year, this year, I don't know. Pittsburgh loves their defensive players. Pittsburgh signs their defensive players. Yeah. Look at Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu was once the highest paid safety in NFL history at one point. So but it's funny that you said that, because that was my first initial thought is Minka, dang it, this sucks for you, because if you play like you did last year, you definitely earned it, because you're better than
earn your bag, go get it. But
happy for you. Thanks for your, you're not a, I mean, you're a Steeler now, but you weren't drafted by us. You were traded to us. So it's kind of like one of those. It's like, thanks for a good couple of years. Appreciate it. Because like you said, they got Watt. What they going to do with money wise with him? Mm-hmm. They got to think about all that stuff. They got Devin Bush, who could be high paid like that. So yeah, my first thought was,
here's my thing. Keeping him on the team obviously is a good move.
Jamal Adams or Minka?
Jamal Adams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it worth it, though, due to the fact that it's like Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner on the team, on their defense, and then
it's not worth it.
Who else is there?
Exactly. Seattle's defense was poo-poo last year. And I think Seattle has probably wasted one of the greatest primes in sports history. And Russell Wilson, because they won a Super Bowl with him, right?
Right.
what year? How many years was he in the league at that point? 3, 4?
I don't fucking know, man.
Three,
But I'm just saying.
I think.
So he was. I'm just saying. Russell Wilson was like 27, 28 years old when he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And what did they do since then? The team has just freaking dissipated. They had one of the greatest defenses in the league. They couldn't keep them together. Like they couldn't figure out how to do it. So yeah, what do we do? Let's just sign the one good player that we have to a lot of money, so we can't sign other really good players.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Russell Wilson. For the longest time, I didn't know why he bothered me. And then I got
because he's the poster boy. He does everything right.
Then I started coming around. Well, I started to come around. I was like, you know what? He is legitimately just like a baller, right?
He's a baller.
And then
I think he just knocked his mic out. Oh,
Derek.
All
about
right.
to drop a hot take and where'd you go?
Oh, there he went. Okay.
So. Seems like
that was like Fast and the Furious, man.
Jesus, man.
Okay. I don't even know.
Is he gonna come back?
I hope so, because he just said, "Oh shit."
No idea what happened. Keep going. He says.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Did he lose his internet or what?
He must have, because like he looked down at the bottom of his screen, goes, "Oh shit," and then everything just went dark.
You have to like invite him back in.
No, he has the code. He can.
Okay.
He'll come right back in.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what he was trying to say there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah, I want to know what he was trying to say.
Do we hang out here and wait till you see what he says?
Oh no, we'll let him come back. But
okay.
For me, I think Jamal. I mean, like you said, their defense is not great, and to go out and make your safety the highest paid safety in league history, while you have so many holes and glaring needs in your defense, is just
questionable.
It's questionable. It's not.
We're not saying it's a complete terrible move, because Jamal Adams is good. He's good. Yeah, he's a good safety. But I mean, you could have moved that money around. I think it's pretty funny, and it's going to get a lot worse next year once the salary cap really goes up to a quarter bill. But we're going to see a lot of the newest highest paid player in the NFL. Absolutely, he'll be the highest paid player for one season.
Yeah, for a season.
Like that's not the argument of the topic, right?
No,
nobody cares, because like you said, like the salary cap's going up, so there's going to be another highest paid player.
Next year is going to be insane. Next year is going to be unprecedented, I think, in the amount of contracts that are given out. I think they're going to go nuts, because they have to get up to that number, or at least close to it.
Yeah. So do you think Audrey set like a timer for Derek, like parental controls,
and just
like it's 10 o'clock, you're not allowed to be on anymore?
Yeah, so the router just shuts off. Probably. She's like, no, we're watching Bachelor in Paradise right now.
I have it recorded, waiting. Come drink your glass of wine with me.
All right. So this is just crazy to me. The whole Josh Rosen saga. I mean, he got drafted back in 2018. Yeah.
I think so. 1918.
Yeah, 1918, somewhere, whatever. But anyways, I mean, he was 10th overall. I mean, coming out of UCLA, he was supposed to be this. I thought they thought he was going to be a franchise quarterback, but
yeah, I mean, that was the plan. Obviously,
5 teams, and it's been what, 5 teams in 3 years?
Yeah, 4 teams.
Is it 4 teams in 3 years?
Yeah, 4 teams. But I will say so you think he's regretting that quote when he said there were 9 mistakes ahead of me on draft night?
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, or not what I don't understand. The funny thing about it to me is that his college coach at the time told him tried to convince him that he needed to stay for his senior year and that he wasn't NFL ready just yet. Which I think is now funny because
I mean, he was right.
His I think it was his, or no. So the Elite 11.
Yes,
Trent Dilfer's gets the best high school quarterbacks in the country to compete to be the top 11 or whatever.
Yep.
Trent Dilfer actually during the Elite 11 said that Josh Rosen is the smartest man in the room, but he doesn't listen to anybody. So my question is he still that guy who thinks he knows more than everybody, and thinks he can just kind of do it on his own, and it's not working. So, like you said, Rosen's a great quarterback talent. I don't think anybody questioned his ability to play the position.
But mentally, was he there?
Well, it's not even mentally. It's just that does he know how to be a professional quarterback? Because it's different in college.
Right.
You can go out and be the man without having to, know everything, know all the plays inside and out. You can just go make plays.
Right.
In college, because not every team is, like an NFL team. So hopefully he figures it out, because I thought he was good in college. I liked him at UCLA. I thought he'd be a good NFL quarterback.
So there, obviously, like you said, there were 10 or 9 draft picks before him. Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen, Raquan Smith, Mike McGlinchey. Sure. McGlinchey. Yep.
From Notre Dame. Yeah.
Yes. And then Rosen. There is, as far as I know, one person on that list of 9 that is not on the same team that drafted them, and that is Sam Darnold, and he just moved.
Yeah. There were definitely not 9 mistakes in front of him.
No, there were not. Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward both are doing fantastic for the Browns. Saquon Barkley has, had his injury, but he's still a fantastic running back.
Yeah.
I think now that Sam Darnold is out of the pit that is the Jets, I think he's going to do great in Carolina, just like we talked about. And Josh Allen should have been drafted higher than where he was. I mean, he was the mistake that drops.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, dude, that is I love the confidence coming out of the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. You love hearing that, but
but
I think he's regretting those words now.
Yeah, that is just absolutely rough. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I hope so. I hope he gets his head on straight, man. I hope that he understands that he needs to listen to people, and he needs to be coachable. You're not gonna be able to play and not be coachable.
Yeah.
Okay. So since Derek decided to take a shit on his computer,
it's like time to round it up without the Lions.
So we're gonna do the.
Come on, that was a great segue, Kenny. We were gonna go Lions roundup into that, and I just said fantasy.
Oh, the Lions rounded
up.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
Dude, it's been a minute. Okay,
I know.
What the hell is the Lions roundup?
He was gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. The Lions.
Hey, we talked about them already.
The only thing I know what to talk about with them is Dan the Man Molbeck, or however you say his last name. Their long snapper for the last 17 seasons was released on his 40th birthday. Yeah.
What a birthday present. Okay.
Right. Which, I mean, it is what it is.
40.
I mean, 17 seasons.
Yeah.
I was talking to Derek about it last night, and I was just like, I would God, if I could long snap, man, 17 years, his contract was 1.1 million to be a long snapper. God, man, that's like being a bullpen pitcher that doesn't have to pitch every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're just getting paid a cool mil, $2
million to sit around at the stadium.
Sometimes you might not even play. Now, a long snapper, you're probably playing every game, especially if you're on the Lions. Hey, look, but so that would be my only Lions roundup I can give you.
All right, sweet. Yeah, the line. I mean, that's shitty. But I mean, the Lions are definitely going to give us plenty of headlines throughout the season. I can guarantee it.
Yep.
All right. So last week we didn't do our top five. Well, that's all right. Edge rushers are edge rushers. We'll talk about defense later. But with the season starting to get real close, everybody's starting their fantasy football leagues.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk fantasy football. And we're gonna start with the most upbeat and the most positive subject that we can: busts.
Yes.
So we're gonna get
who to stay away from, baby.
Yeah, Derek has given us his two guys for
now. Before we start, I would like to say to our 1 to 10 people, however many who are listening to us, that we in no way or shape or form suggest that you listen to any of the advice that we're about to give you. All of this is from our own opinions. There has been maybe medium to no research done into this topic. So we are just throwing it off the top of our heads who we think. So if you pick this person, if you stay away from this person in fantasy and they have a great year, it is not our fault. I have warned you. Just want to make that clear.
Amen. You made that very, very clear.
And for future fantasy picks, when we say this is the person you should take. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I will pull up Derek's real fast. We'll just get his out of the way. So Josh Jacobs, his line got worse. Not very good for most of last year. And Matt Ryan has gotten less productive each year the past 3 years and lost Julio.
Yeah, I like the Josh Jacobs one. I think he's right. The line did get worse. I wouldn't say he wasn't very good last year. He was average, but I think he has he's kind of capped in the running back. He's more of just a runner. He doesn't have a lot of pass upside in his fantasy value. So I agree with that there. On the Matt Ryan side of things, well, no dud, Derek. Matt Ryan's like 50 years old. Not everybody's Tom Brady.
I was gonna say,
all right.
I was gonna say, who's drafted Matt Ryan this year?
Yeah, if anybody's drafted Matt Ryan, they're picking him in like the 15th round because they need a quarterback to be a backup.
Yeah,
right, a fill-in bye week or something.
Okay, so I will let you do your first.
All right, so I will go to maybe surprising. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Michael Thomas, the Saints.
Yes, that was my one
too. And I was even thinking this before he asked for a trade. Okay, so there's one reason. So he was injured last year. I picked him at number 8 overall to start the year. 7 overall, whatever pick I was last year to start the season. Ended up trading him away while he was injured, got Aaron Rodgers out of the deal, so it worked out pretty well. But only 40 catches, 438 yards last year. He had no touchdowns in 7 games. He's still kind of banged up, so he might not start the season. He's not going to, even when he comes back, he's not going to be, the crazy great wideout that he was a couple of years ago with Breeze.
Right.
So, Michael Thomas has gone from a first, second round pick. I mean, he's looking like maybe Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, who knows what you're going to get out of those two?
Yeah.
That's probably the big reason why I would stay away from Michael Thomas is the quarterback situation.
100%. Yes.
I mean, like when Michael Thomas was a rookie coming out of Ohio State, I picked him in like the 11th round. And I think that I think a perfect spot for him would be that like 5 to 10 range this year. I don't know if that's a ballsy guess. Some people are probably still going to pick him 2nd, 3rd round just because of his name. But
yeah, I don't. And that's the problem with Michael is that people are going to pick him because they know that he is a great wide receiver.
Right.
They're not going to think about the problems that are surrounding him that are going to make him not a good wide receiver this year.
Yeah.
It's not like a running back where, yeah, you could have a decent line, but your quarterback really doesn't matter with your running back because all they have to do is hand the ball off.
Right.
But with a wide receiver, I mean, it is their whole job is predicated on 10 other guys doing their job properly so that they can get the ball.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, for me, it's Michael Thomas number one. Like, he would have been he's been a great 1 or 2 wide receiver
absolutely
in the past. And it's definite.
He's a definite first round fantasy draft talent.
Yeah.
Surefire. But you lose Drew Brees, you're hurt, you're still kind of lingering injury. Your new quarterbacks are, who knows? If it's Jameis Winston at Florida State, oh man, Michael Thomas might have a year again. But if it's the professional Jameis Winston that played down in Tampa, he's going to be terrible.
Yeah, because Jameis Winston's going to be tossing those balls straight to the defense.
The only side note I will throw out is that if it is Jameis Winston, do we remember a guy that plays in Tampa Bay still to this day? His name is Mike Evans. Mike Evans was a pretty good fantasy wide receiver when Jameis Winston was his quarterback. All right. Yeah, so this is my guy. Thomas is still, I still feel strongly about staying away from him. But remember that there is some potential upside. Thinking back a few years back, with Mike Evans and Jameis Winston, because Mike Evans was a 1,000-yard receiver, 10 to 13 touchdowns a year with Winston in the 2-3 seasons they played together. So
yeah, you're right.
He's got potential to have a good year fantasy wise, but I'm still confident that he's got to stay away from.
Yeah, it's if you're gonna pick him up, you got to do it late round when you already had your pieces and you're just filling your team.
And it's not even no, I wouldn't go that crazy with Michael Thomas. He's not that late.
I would. Well, like you said, 10th round.
I said 5th to 10th round in that area. I think is the perfect spot to take him. But I mean, I wouldn't be scared.
Too soon.
I wouldn't be scared to take him in the 3rd. If I'm picking, okay, because you got to. Is he
really?
But it also depends on what your draft's like too. I mean, are quarterbacks of high value? Because if quarterbacks are of high value in your fantasy league, then okay, you can probably wait till the 5th to 10th round to pick him up. But if quarterbacks don't hold a lot of value, don't score a lot of points in your league, if they're, if touchdowns score most of the points for quarterbacks and yards, and if it's not a PPR league, then obviously absolutely wait till that point. If it is a PPR league, I wouldn't be afraid of him in the 3rd or 4th round. Okay, because one, more than likely, quarterbacks, there's going to be maybe a few quarterbacks. There's going to be a Mahomes and a Brady, maybe a Rodgers, and maybe Lamar Jackson, just because of his rushing upside.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's going to be skill positions. So I'm not saying hold off until the 5th round, but first, second round, I still think there's first, second round availability skill positions that are better than Michael Thomas for this year.
Yes, 100%.
I'm not saying wait until the 5th round, but a 5th to 10th round, I think, is the perfect spot for him this year in my predictions.
I agree. It's not going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to be a good year for him. I don't foresee Jameis Winston having, because Taysom Hill, you're not getting a number 1 wide receiver out of him.
Well, you don't know. I'm not going to talk bad about Taysom Hill just because I don't know. He's an athlete. He's a playmaker. So I'm going to bite my tongue on Taysom Hill until I see if Jameis Winston comes out day 1 starter, then I don't care. Taysom Hill, garbage. If he comes back and plays, whatever, I don't care. But if he comes out and he's the day 1 starter, I'm going to give him a shot just because I don't know. I'm not going to jump to conclusions about Taysom Hill yet. Okay. I haven't seen enough of him.
Okay. All right. So who's your second? I'm
going to let you go first since I stole yours. We'll let you talk first.
Okay. So I'm going wide receiver on this.
Okay. So all right. So we don't have the same person here. So go ahead.
All right. I'm going. This is gonna be crazy, and I think it's mainly to do. Well, it has to do with the change in the team, but also age, and it's Julio Jones. I think that a lot of people are going to. I think a lot of people are going to take him in Tennessee's offense, and they are whatever. Tannehill, he has a great deep ball. That's Julio Jones. That's his thing, and I just don't trust it. I think that they are going to rely more on Derrick Henry. I think that if he does get passes, it's going to be contested most of the year. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about Julio. And
it makes me really excited that you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep talking. Keep going. Keep talking.
Okay.
Talking your points. Okay. I got something for you.
Okay. So, I really don't have, like you said, it's a little bit, just a little bit of research. It's all feeling.
Yeah.
I just like it's a new offense. It's the first offense outside of the Falcons that he's been in. Like I said, Ryan Tannehill has a good arm, but it's not a great arm. It's not Matt Ryan in his prime. It's
no.
And Julio again is getting older.
Yeah.
And he's not as fast. And he's gonna be, but he's still gonna be covered.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people are gonna try and go for him, but I don't think it's gonna work out.
So I wanted to go last on this last part because I was gonna give you my second guy and then give you a bonus guy just to piss you off. And it's funny that I'm gonna give my bonus guy now before I give my second guy to stay away from, just because you brought it up. I think Derrick Henry is the guy to stay away from this year, and I'm going to tell you why.
Ooh.
Not that I say, and I'm not saying don't draft him. Right. By any means, I'm not saying that. Most people are going to take Derrick Henry when in a draft. 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying if you are the first through third pick, don't take Derrick Henry. And why am I saying that? Because I know you would jump all over it. You would take Derrick Henry in a heartbeat if you had the chance. Would you take Derrick Henry over Nick Chubb?
So this is my thing. If I'm taking Nick Chubb, I'm handcuffing.
You don't have to explain, right? Your face said it all. All right. You made that little Grinch face. All right. Would you take Derrick Henry over Christian McCaffrey?
No.
Would you take Derrick Henry over Alvin Kamara?
No.
Okay, so my point exactly, right? There's 3 running backs, boom, right there that I just said. So if you have a top 3 pick, stay away from Derrick Henry. All right, even top 5, I still think you stay away from him. All right, because there's running backs that have higher upside than him. He is
and his upside is not his upside.
Okay. First of all, I don't think Derrick Henry has an upside this season. Why? What did he do last year? How many yards did he run for?
Almost 2,000.
He ran for 2,000.
No, it was
okay. Whatever,
wasn't it?
Okay, whatever. However, if he was there or he wasn't, guess what? He got shorter. He's not going to run for that much this year, and you know why? Because of the guy you just brought up, Julio Jones, is now in Tennessee, right? So what's Tennessee going to want to do more? They have AJ Brown, they have Julio Jones, they have Derrick Henry to open up what? They have they have a great running back to open up the passing game. Tannehill's got an arm. What are they going to want to do? They're going to want to get it out and throw it. Now, they have Mike Vrabel as their head coach, old school. The philosophy is going to be run first, right? They're still going to be a run first team.
Use the run to build the pass.
Last year, first, second down, it was probably about a 90% guarantee they were going to run it. I don't know what the exact analytics are on that, but they're going to be more intrigued to throw it on second down now. With Julio Jones and AJ Brown.
With two guys, yeah.
Right. So I think they're going to pass more. He doesn't have the upside of a pass catcher, right? He showed some signs last year that he could do it, but
it's awkward. It's awkward. He's like he's fucking 6'4", 250. He just looks awkward catching the ball out of the backfield.
So I'm not. This is my bonus player. I'm not saying don't draft Derrick Henry, because by all means, if you can draft a almost 2,000-yard rusher and a 2,000-yard rusher, whatever, he's going to get red zone. He's going to get red zone touchdown looks. But for a full fantasy package, if you have a top 5 pick, I would stay away from him, because there are 3 running backs and a couple receivers that you would pick in front of him. That's all I'm saying. Not saying he's going to be a bust, but I would be top 5 pick. I would stay away from Derrick Henry.
Right.
Now, my second guy, I'm going to go down to the AFC South. A rookie that broke out last year that nobody knew what was going to happen. James Robinson, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't even know. I'll never even forget this. The draft that we do in the CFFL is 18 rounds. We do an 18-round draft with my 18th overall pick. I can't even remember the dude's name from Jacksonville that I took. That was supposed to be the day one starter. The day after the draft was over, the Jacksonville Jaguars named James Robinson their starting running back. So what did I do? I dropped that guy and I picked up James Robinson. And guess what? I had him the whole entire year. And holy God, what a blessing he was for me. Ran for 1,000 yards. He had 49 catches for 344 yards.
Right.
He had 10 total touchdowns. So great rookie season, right?
Yeah.
1,000 yards rushing, almost 400 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. That's a pretty solid rookie season.
It's not terrible.
So what did Jacksonville do for him?
Nothing.
They drafted Travis Etienne out of Clemson, a dual threat running back. Oh, also a teammate of their new franchise quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
If I can I add that? They also say they also signed Carlos Hyde to a contract as well.
You know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So now, a good red zone running back, Carlos Hyde, is now in Jacksonville. So with that being said, you got your franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. They added Marvin Jones Jr. from the Lions, who is a very respectable NFL receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They have DJ Chark, who I also was thinking about putting on the bus list. But he's capable receiver. So what are they going to want to do now that Trevor Lawrence is there? They're going to want to stretch the field out, throw it downfield.
Right.
So I don't think Jacksonville helped Robinson in any ways, fantasy wise. I would say he's probably still a good flex player because he's probably going to be the starting running back still, or is the starting running back still. So I mean, he's still a great starter, first, second down running back. That's going to he still probably can run for yards, but he's not going to get the catches he got last year because one, ETN's probably going to be their third down running back. And then rushing touchdowns wise, I think they might put Hyde in goal line situation because Hyde is a freaking mule of a man.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah.
He's a big dude. So I think we have D'Angelo Williams, Mike Tolbert situation.
Vulture.
The vulture. Yeah. I think Carlos Hyde might be a vulture this year. We got two vultures, Hyde of red zone carries
and
inside the 5 and ETN on third down catch opportunities.
Yeah.
So I would say if you were high on James Robinson coming in off of last season, if you had him, I was really big on him. But after looking at a bunch of stuff, I wouldn't even draft him, staying away from him. Now, if I can find him late, but
I don't know
we talked about, after the 6th round, if he's still there, 5th round, 6th round, if he's still there, absolutely, I'll jump on it because that's a hell of a get. But
yeah,
if it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd round, which his numbers last year, he's a 1st, 2nd, 3rd round player. I would not expect that this year and stay away from that.
Yeah. Do you think that with ETN being a rookie, do you think the handcuffing the two together would be a smart idea? I don't know if you handcuff him to Hyde because, like you said, he's just so short term.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I think it would be a good idea of handcuffing ETN with Robinson, just for the fact that ETN was a really, really good college running back.
Mm-hmm.
But he was more of a dual. He's a true dual threat running back. So he has a higher upside than James Robinson.
Right.
And when they drafted Travis Etienne, right? First round. So what do teams normally do with first round picks?
They try to get him out there as fast as possible.
They try to get him out there as much as possible. So I think Etienne in the mid to late rounds would be a smart handcuff with Robinson, just because that by the end of the year it might be the Travis Etienne show. One, because he's a really talented athlete, and he might end up just taking over everything. and Robinson might just become a red zone running back as opposed to an all-around back that he was last year.
Yeah, that's a real good, really well thought out pick.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like I almost feel like you're pissed about it. Like you were thinking about going Robinson.
I've had him as a bust for ever since they drafted Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, and then they signed Marvin Jones, and I'm like, okay, they're trying to do something here. They're trying to get people to make Trevor Lawrence better. James Robinson is, I mean, but was he a spark in the pan or whatever the saying is? You know what I mean? Was it just one good year? Flash in the pan. It was just one good year out of him. So it's not that I'm mad about it.
Mhm.
It's just that I really liked him last year. And if you had him on your fantasy team, you probably feel the same way. I mean, he was every single Sunday, Thursday night, whatever day he was playing on, he was locked in my lineup unless he was hurt. And I don't think he missed the game. Yeah. Because since game one last year, he proved his worth that he was a fantasy scorer. And I mean, like I said, 1,000 yards rushing, almost 400 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. I mean, out of a rookie, that's beautiful.
That's good, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure everybody was happy that picked him up. So it's kind of it's not frustrating. It's disappointing that I think his value is going to go way down.
Yeah,
like you could see him maybe running for 400 to 500 yards, 100 to 200 yards receiving, and maybe 5 touchdowns.
Like so just cutting in half,
right? Because of a first round pick running back and Travis.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't lie. I like Etienne. I think he'll be a good NFL running back, but
I wish.
Mm-hmm.
Big yawn. I was trying to look up Etienne stats, like his like physical stats.
Yeah.
Freaking NFL or NFL.com doesn't have it, but I feel like
he's 5'10", 215.
Yeah, a smaller guy. That's what I was gonna get at.
Not that small.
I mean, he's 5'10" and 215.
That's about the average size of a running back in the NFL.
Yeah, well, height wise, I feel like he's a little short, but
no. I think he's about right. About 5'10" to 6'1" is about the average height of an NFL running back, probably.
I feel like you would. How do I want to say this? You're right. He is a first round talent, and they want to get him out there as fast as possible. I think that they would be smart, especially being the Jaguars. I think it would be smart of them to take Robinson and use him as a first round pick. He is. And I almost thought that you freaking
nope, I'm still here.
Again.
I was grabbing my phone because it's funny you said that because I brought Travis Etienne's college. I have this like stuff pulled up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, first round pick, getting him out there. He had 4,952 career rushing yards, ACC record.
Mm-hmm.
He also held records, 70 rushing touchdowns. He had ACC records, 78 total touchdowns, 468 total points scored. And he scored at least 1 touchdown in 46 of his 55 career games. Those are both FBS and NCAA records.
Jesus, man.
So the kid is a baller.
Yeah,
right? The kid he's a winner. He's just an athlete. He's really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
So like you said, he's a first round pick. There's nothing. I mean, really, Travis Etienne drafting Trevor Lawrence didn't hurt Robinson's.
No,
stop.
God, no.
But then the Etienne pick was just like, damn, man, that really hurts James Robinson because I think he can have a really solid career in the NFL if he can keep that production. But you just drafted Travis Etienne, so you went from an undrafted rookie, free agent, starting running back to now I got a first round talent, Travis Etienne.
Crazy.
He ran for 1,000 yards on a bad team. First round pick, guy that was set a bunch of school records at a team that was really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the shift here is, it's not fair.
Crazy.
It's not fair to Robinson, but it's the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy that he was undrafted too.
Yeah. But
all right.
Kenny's
right.
gonna fall asleep, so I think that's the cue to.
Your boy is exhausted. All right. So that I mean those are good. Next week we're definitely doing who we love.
Yes.
This year.
Put some little positive vibes back in 2021.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go negative and go who we love. Yeah. No. All right. So yeah, that's this episode of the KD Sports Talk. Make sure, like again, we're sorry. Last week was a shit show, but we're back. We'll be back every week, especially now that the NFL season has started. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get into it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube. If you're watching or if you're listening on the podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, leave a rate and review there. And we'll see you guys next.
Let's add one thing.
Add one thing.
So we've been struggle busing this for the last month or two.
Okay.
Anybody that's listening, take the Twitter, take the comment on the YouTube video.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Whatever. Comment what you think the name of our show should be.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are the KD Sports Talk, which was for Kenny and Derek. I came along as a guest. I don't know how many episodes in, but I am a mainstay now. I'm here all the time. So Kenny has been talking about new names.
And Kenny can't get up a new name.
That's why we've gone from KN when it's just me and Kenny. We've been Ceiling Fan Sports when Kenny's not here. So if anybody has the slightest idea of a name to call us, please feel free to let us know. Because we have no idea.
Yeah, who would have thought that naming a podcast would be the hardest fucking thing to do in a podcast?
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.